Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my special guide commentary video for Corrin, a very popular character, for, at least based on the community that I've been sort of exposed to, and these people have been asking for a guide video for this particular unit for quite a while, and I've been very excited to. For people that don't know, I released a tier list where I named Corrin at the bottom of the entire list. So, for today's video, we're going to be doing things in a special twist. We're actually going to be playing the level 80 Animap on the Fire Emblem Fates history mode. Meaning this is going to be the hardest that it's ever possibly going to get in the game, the highest difficulty at level 80. The reason why I want to do this is because I want to sort of drive home my original point that no matter wherever I put a character on the tier list, the thing about Warriors games is that if you like a character a lot, they still can be very viable as long as you put the investment in them. And I put in a lot of investment in this particular character, and I just want to showcase just how good she can be in what is one of the harder maps of the game. Part of what makes this particular map so difficult is the fact that you're actually restricted to only 4 characters. That is the least amount you will possibly be restricted to playing on any of the Animaps on history mode. So let's just get Corrin's moveset out of the way. In terms of moveset, she only has like 2 or 3 useful moves overall, and the real reason why I put her so low is that her main niche is that she has actually amazing single target damage. Her single target damage is, in my opinion, one of the most bursty in the entire game. The thing about her combo 4, 3 regulars and a strong attack, expose the stun gauge, as we all know. As well, you do the combo 5, and then you're able to break it instantly. The combo 5 has very little in the way of AoE, but it does so much burst damage that like you can actually plow through most enemies just spamming this attack. The main weakness with Corrin is the fact that her AoE range is quite low. Even, like, I remember mentioning in the tier list video, for those of you guys that haven't seen that, I mentioned that her gimmick, when she turns into a dragon, has such a high charge time that it's better to just spam regular attacks to get the job done. As it turns out, her strong attack, like, if you fully charge it, it takes 5 seconds to fully charge it. It actually has very little area of effect. It's really, really bad. It's a huge oversight. And I understand that they want to, like, you know, shape the game or shape her gameplay after the fact that she is a dragon. But unfortunately, like, somewhere along the way, they kind of forgot about that, and they never really focused on that ever again. Which is unfortunate, but that's just one of the many issues that I would personally have with this character. That being said, she's a very fun character. Like, she may not have AoE, but she has great single target damage. That's her main draw. You'll actually find that, generally speaking, when it comes to how I, like, play my characters, because obviously tier lists do just boil down to opinion that I like this character more just because I do. And that's kind of the thing about Corrin, is that, like, I like using this character just because I do, not because she's particularly amazing or she stands out in any way. Like, she has the great single target burst, that is going to be her main selling point, but then once you move past that point, it just boils down to I like using her because she's just fun, in my opinion. That's all it really is. So, another issue that I have with this character is, like, she has the damage down, it's just that none of her moves really mesh well with the character concept, the concept being that she uses acrobatics to do devastating damage. She does have the devastating damage down, it's just that, again, we're comparing all the characters to each other in the context of Fire Emblem Warriors, so, like, characters already exist where they already have amazing AoE combined with single target damage. With Corrin, it's like, on paper, she's actually a very solid unit. All of her moves, or at least like the 2 moves that are useful on her, have their own particular niche or purpose to them. The problem is, moves already exist, or characters already exist where they just fulfill that purpose a little bit clearer. So, in terms of her strings, like, yeah, her combo 4, I already mentioned, it's guaranteed. It's also an AoE, so the nice thing about Corrin is that you can actually just zero in on captain units and then immediately expose the stun gauge on them by spamming the combo 4 because it launches her forward. Now, her combo 5, it's probably the move that you'll end up using the most out of all out of all of her moves, and that's mainly just because it has kind of a good amount of AoE. Her combo 6, so I'll just show it to you right now. So it's like when you turn into a dragon, it has like okay AoE. I would have loved it if there was more splash damage at the end, but unfortunately that never happened. But, you know, that's just a thing that happens. So let's just finish Himiko here. Himiko's very, very tanky. I think that's how it is with all Falcon Knights. By the way, in terms of stat spread, so also I mentioned that her moveset, while very unique, the only problem though is that the way that it's supposed to be is that she was meant to originally be, like I find anyway, that she was meant to sort of serve as a single target specialist. But the thing is though is that her moveset doesn't really complement the skills that already exist. Like you compare her to a unit like Lucina, for example. With Lucina, she has a really quick moveset that can proc Luna very often, and she has the luck to sort of back that up. That's kind of the same thing with Corrin, is that she actually has a very decent luck stat, actually one of the higher luck stats in the game, but she can't really make use of that because her moves are very sluggish. She was supposed to be a very quick and agile character, but you can't take full advantage of that due to the fact that you can't dodge cancel most of her attacks. So let's just try her combo 4 to kind of gain some ground. So you see there, like it doesn't even do that much. Her combo 3 is the same story, doesn't really have as much AoE, even though that should have been the thing that gives her AoE, so it's just like two regular attacks and a strong. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you have to like figure out that yeah, you pick this character because you enjoy her. Again, that's always what it boils down to. Let's see, another really nice thing about Corrin though is that yeah, her moveset's very unique. It's actually a lot of fun to watch, despite the fact that you can't really dodge cancel it. But giving her support, like if you give her support, she actually does very well. Like, and that's kind of what Warriors or Fire Emblem Warriors boils down to. It boils down to the fact that you patch up their weaknesses. You know, let's switch to Anna to build some meter so we can burst down Takumi. Because that's what I mean though, is that like more often than not, she can't really stand by herself as easily as other characters. Like she does have to benefit from support eventually, even when you're playing the higher level maps. That being said though, she actually does make a very decent vanguard, provided you don't use her for the sole purpose of racking up kill counts. That's when you sort of have to start using other characters. She's a very reliant character for clearing maps. You would need to have a partner that does that same job for her. In terms of matchups, Camila does a pretty good job since she already has great AoE. Ryoma, Lin, most axe users, well, any of the axe users synergize with her, any of the spear users. She's meant to be partnered up. That's how I find her. She's meant to be partnered up with people. And thing is though, her single target, again, killing Fort Captain, she has the moveset for that. She has actually like the perfect moveset for bursting down single targets, which is very nice. I just wish that they kind of built on that a little bit more and make her a little bit more versatile. But that's kind of why I ranked her though, is that in comparison to the rest of the roster, she doesn't have that like versatile potential. She doesn't have the huge versatility of say Ryoma, for example. Like I'm very vocal about saying that Ryoma just has an okay AoE, but he could still do that effectively in comparison to other characters. But yeah, see here, like, this is a level 80. In most, like, level 50 or even level 63 challenges on history mode, she can actually burst down Fort Captains in just 2 combos. So that's kind of how you want to do these. You want to do your combo 4 to show off the stun gauge, and then break that stun gauge with your combo 5. And it does a lot of damage. If they gave it just a little bit more AoE, I think she would actually be a much better character, and that's just my opinion. Maybe she didn't need that. Maybe the developers didn't want her to have more AoE, they just want to focus on the quote-unquote assassin playstyle. But yeah, that's kind of how it is though. Most of the time, I feel that whenever they make characters, they build them with a purpose, a very specific purpose, but then there's like the little oversight where, like, yeah, they were built to do this, but also surprisingly they can do this. Right, in terms of other skills, I also gave her Astra. Like, she doesn't really benefit from it as much, but Astra is just a very nice skill for every character on the roster, simply because, like, you know, the more you're attacking, the more stuff you're doing. Just makes sense. And what else? There's also Luna, because as I mentioned earlier, she has one of the higher luck stats in the game. Luna, I gave her Armored Blow so that she doesn't get, Yeah, I gave her armored blows so that she doesn't get interrupted midway through her attacks, so that's a nice bonus to give her. Let's see. Also, her Draco Shield skill, it's a very good skill in the Fire Emblem games, but in terms of, like, being in a Warriors game, it's just okay. It boosts the defenses of your Vanguard units, but honestly, if you invest a lot of crests in your Vanguards, like, you really shouldn't need it anyway, but, you know, that's a skill that she has. And I believe that about does it for the skills. Oh, I think I gave her Solidarity as well, so that her partner... I feel like Solidarity, Astra are like mandatory moves for like all characters. That's just my opinion, but you know, that's kind of how I take it most of the time. Okay, let's see if we can take out Xander now. Get some Luna procs. There we go. Because yeah, like, there's actually nothing particularly wrong with her. You can use her like every other character, and that's the point that I want to drive home with this video. You can make any character good. Actually, okay, I think we have to burn the Awakening Gauge on him, because he's tanky. Xander's really tanky. And that's kind of how I feel about, like, any character that I put in the B- tier list. Like, again, like, a B- doesn't mean awful. It's just that they just happen to be in a classroom filled with people that are, like, getting 100% all the time. That's how I've tried to go about it. Yeah, same thing applies for using the Awakening Gauge. Your main two combos that you will use, you'll be mainly using combo 4 and 5 the entire time. Combo 6 has so much lag that you probably shouldn't use it. Like, except for the fact that it looks cool, I guess. I don't know. If you want to, you could. But yeah, like in terms of transforming to Dragon, I kind of would have wished if they made her a little bit more like Volga. If they made her a little bit more like Volga from Hyrule Warriors, where she just transforms into a dragon and then dives bomb, nuking everybody inside, that would be pretty entertaining, but oh well. Also, her combo too, so it's a light attack and a strong attack. It's actually, like, you actually could juggle people infinitely, which is really funny, but the damage isn't amazing. You could do it though, like you could, one thing I did in one of the other recordings that I made for this character, as I was looking for footage, I actually just did a combo 4 to expose the stun gauge, and then I tried doing the infinite to see if it would work, but unfortunately the damage and the rate of breaking the stun gauge wasn't as fast as I would have liked it to. So yeah, all that's left for us is just to burst down Ryoma, and just like with every character, again, every character can be super strong if you invest into them, and Corrin is absolutely no exception. Like, what we're going to do, like, I'm going to tell you the game plan while we're on our way to kick this guy's ass. We're going to run up to him, and we're going to use a dual warrior special, and because she has a relatively high luck skill and skill stat, like, I think he's going to die in one combo. It should be. Let's find out. We're gonna find out together. You go, girl. And yeah, see, she's good. Like, guys, just because she's bottom tier doesn't mean she can't bring the fear. You know what I'm saying? Told ya. So anyways, that what basically does it for my video for Corrin. Again, boils down to whoever you like. Even though I named her at the bottom, she's a lot of fun. She has a really good moveset. It's just that it's too bad that, like, only 2 of her strings have, like, a viable use to them. And, like, really improvements that I would have thought for her would just be to, you know, give her more, I guess, dodge cancelable, because that's what they want to go for. They want to give her the ninja-like assassin-style gameplay of zeroing in on captains, then bursting them down quickly. And that's basically, and you still can't do that. It's just that her current design right now, as a character, doesn't allow for that as easily as I would have liked. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm pretty sure we S-ranked this. Like, we had 1700 KO, but I'm pretty sure all the other units had, like, finished up the remaining 300. And I don't think we took that much damage either. Like, we were pretty quick about this one. My goodness, there's so much text in this. Come on, I need to see my score. Thank you, male Corrin. But, did we get it? Let's find out, and yeah, see? S rank on a level 80 map with Corrin. It's doable, you guys. Low tier, and bring in the fear. See you guys next time.
一番ですか？